Hello and welcome to Inside the Classroom. Today we're taking a look at Lisa Brown's Honors Exploring and Respecting Differences class. This is A3 block at Nauset Regional High School. Let's go take a look at what they do.
Hello, I'm Joshua Devlin and I'm here with Victoria. Now, would you mind answering a couple of questions for us?
Yeah.
Alright, well first off, what would you describe EARD as?
So EARD stands for Exploring and Respecting Differences, and it's an elective class at Nauset, so this is the Honors EARD, and so there's EARD 1, EARD 2, and then Honors EARD, and we do a lot of social emotional learning, learning about the world around us, learning about our peers, how to interact with them, how to speak respectfully and have productive conversation and dialogue as opposed to like screaming matches, and really just understanding ourselves and our peers.
What is the basic curriculum of this course?
So it's very project-based, and whatever learning style is best for you is learning style that you would get to use. And so for instance, right now we're doing a bullying curriculum and our anti-bullying curriculum in the middle schools and elementary schools throughout Cape. So right now on Friday we're going to Truro Elementary School, so we're just working and on putting the final touches on all of our activities to go there. So we're just trying to build empathy skills and communication skills with the elementary schools and middle schools.
Now, what would you say your impact on the community has been?
I am really excited, especially for this anti-bullying curriculum and its impact on the community, because we already went to Wellfleet and did it, but it's just exciting to be able to interact with these elementary schoolers and middle schoolers, because they are going to grow up and be like the next kids to come to Nauset and the next kids to come to Nauset Middle School. So just to help them like develop those empathy skills and communication skills is really exciting, and just to know that it's going to be a good influence on them.
What is this even?
So this is the ball that we're doing for our activity. So you just throw the ball around, and it's covered in different questions. And like for instance, are you excited for middle school? What's your biggest fear? Have you ever seen a bullying situation and how did you handle it? So the point of these questions is just to allow the peers to listen to each other, listen to their peers' responses, learn a little bit more, and kind of get a chance to learn more about their peers. So.
Name one regret. There's so many to say. I regret not doing sports all 4 years of high school. I definitely missed a lot of opportunities there. And thank you very much for allowing us to interview you.
You're welcome.
Hello, I'm here with
Natalie Sweeney.
Now, Natalie, why did you choose to do EARD?
Well, I started taking EARD my freshman year. I took EARD 1 and EARD 2, and I took them because my sister actually took them, and she told me about how amazing of a teacher Lisa was and how she taught her how to accept other cultures and understand differences and try and become an activist in society.
Now, what is the project that you're working on here?
So we are going to Truro Elementary School, and we're doing activities with the students, and this activity is called the Stereotyped Activity. So we'll be doing it with 4th and 5th graders, and we give them a piece of paper and we ask them to draw the professions. We have like mechanic, truck driver, landscaper, farmer, and then we talk about the gender that they chose to draw their worker, and how a lot of these jobs, like a mechanic, you would only consider a man to do them, but like anyone can do the jobs, and so it's just supposed to point out the stereotypes in society that like have affected these young children.
So it's like a political statement.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Take EARD. That's it.
Hello, I'm here with
Charlotte Lenoy.
who is a member of the EARD class and also the president of the Human Rights Academy. Now, Charlotte, which project would you say has been the most impactful?
I'd say the forum that we held at the school in the auditorium in September. It was to spread awareness about the ballot question number 3, the transgender rights ballot. We invited our state representatives to come along. It was Sarah Peak and Julian Sear, and it was a very meaningful project to everyone in HRA as well as EARD. A lot of people came, and really it just spread information. We had other people from other points of view come and share their opinion, which was informative, and it was overall a very educational experience.
Now, what would you say you have learned from both this class and that project itself?
Well, taking away from that project, it was a lot about different people's views and how they can be incorporated together and how you can listen and work with other people to come to a common ground.
Alrighty, well, thank you. Hello, I'm here with
Max Bolaris.
Now, why did you decide to take this course?
I got into Honors EARD because I took the first 2 courses. I love Lisa, I love all the people in the class, and I love the curriculum. So it was just kind of a natural choice for me. I'm a big fan of how Honors EARD is a whole lot more about activism and advocation than the first 2 courses. And I love that it gives me a platform to work off of.
Now, what would you say you have taken away from doing this class?
I've learned a lot about different types of people and different viewpoints, how to go about respectfully debating them, how to approach those that have an opposing view. It's made me a better activist in that I'm forced to advocate.
Now, Max, what would you like to tell someone that is considering joining this class?
Just go for it. It's something that you will not regret. You learn a lot. And it's taken me from a point A as who I am as a person to a totally different point B. I feel I've grown a lot through taking the course and because of Lisa's hard work. And this course is something that I'm always going to remember. And without it, I'd be a totally different person.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Joshua Devlin, here with
Lisa Brown,
Now, Mrs. Brown, what is EARD exactly?
exploring and respecting differences is what it stands for.
What does this class entail?
Wow, okay, EARD 1 is really looking at the social emotional growth of students. We start with things like stereotyping, hate groups, the formation of cults, and we talk about morals, values, and ethics, gender and sexuality, all these kinds of topics that are pretty important for kids to talk about this day and age. It's been running for about 18 years. It's a pretty popular class. And then I have EARD 2, which is a continuation of that. We do more global and regional issues, looking at pollution and human trafficking and some of these troubling issues on the global scale. And then Honors EARD is something entirely different. I'll tell you about that later.
Well, you beat me to that other question, which was how long has the program been running, but what made you start this program?
What made me start this program? Students, kids, looking at what kids were really gravitating towards and were interested in after-school programs and in talking in between classes and talking between subjects in classes. It looked like we really needed to have kind of a civil rights, human rights-based social emotional program, and doing something that gave legitimacy to the academic program too, with kind of the pedagogy of academics, but also weaving in all the social emotional stuff seemed like it'd be a really great 4-credit class. So kids really developed it in a lot of ways. I didn't.
That's good to hear. What are some of your favorite parts of teaching this class?
Well, first of all, the kids.
Right.
I completely enjoy waking up every day and coming to work. It's the coolest thing I've ever done. And I love this age group because I think that it's underserved and underappreciated and respected in a societal way, not in a family way, but they don't have the right to vote for a long time. They have a lot of rights and responsibilities, or they're supposed to take responsibility for a lot of adult things, but they don't necessarily have the skill set. And there's a lot of pressure, tremendous amounts of pressure put on them. And so I love this age because it is so vibrant and questioning and exciting and fascinating and brilliant overall. And I don't think that they necessarily always have a voice. Let me tell you about Honors EARD.
Sure thing.
Honors EARD takes EARD 1 and EARD 2 and then puts it into the social activism realm. So we do things out in the community at that point. So this year we've been going to the elementary schools, and last year we went to the middle school and did anti-bullying programs and empathy building programs. We always do a human rights gallery, which is our culminating project. All of my classes are project-based. I don't really believe in homework, and I'm actually saying that on camera. I believe that in some cases homework is really important for things that you have to memorize, but I think in my case, for my classes, it's really important that kids take what they learn in my class and then be able to extrapolate out into the world and use their skills out in the world, and then come back into class and demonstrate how they've used those skills. And so that's sort of the integration between community and classroom. And that's what we do much more on the Honors EARD level.
Now, I heard you mention that you went to elementary schools. Now, what was it that you were doing there again?
We do a program called Taking Care of Each Other, and it is an empathy building program, and it's kind of it's like a little teeny weeny taste of mini EARD that's way down in the kindergarten level and all the way up to the 5th and 6th grade, and 7th and 8th last year we did in Provincetown. But we'd like to be able to see this kind of skill set be built all the way from kindergarten all the way up. So by the time they get to high school, they're such cool adults that they're already changing the world. And, just a small idea, but try to grow it big as they get older.
Wonderful. Well, thanks.
Yeah, you too.
Hello, I'm here with Gabe. Gabe, what made you decide to take this course?
Well, Lisa was going around to a bunch of classes, I think it was 2 years ago, and she was doing some activities with us, and I was very interested because these activities were very much promoting critical thinking and just realizing what our peers have been through and how to solve problems on our own, and I thought it was an amazing experience.
How long have you been taking this course for?
So this is my second year taking the course, second semester. I took EARD 1, I'm currently in Honors EARD. I'm going to be taking EARD 2 next semester.
What have you taken away from this course?
I think it shows a bunch of things that you could be an activist about. I've learned a lot from my classmates, what they're passionate about. I've been able to do that in my own life as well, and just finding your passion and being able to talk about it is just a big thing in this class.
Right. What would you say is your favorite part of this class?
I think it's just the community. It's so unique. Out of every class, we just get to come together and talk freely, and you're never going to feel judged in this class. Everyone's very accepting, so it's just a wonderful place to be.
All right, well, thank you, Gabe.
No problem.
Hello, we're here with Mac Bell, a returning student who is a graduate from Nauset High School. Now, Mac, what have you taken away from the EARD class that you're using in your college career currently?
I think a big part of what I've taken from EARD is the communication from it. Right. You learn how to communicate with people with an open dialogue rather than debating-wise. I'm actually a communications major, and it's kind of come in handy when I'm talking to people and we're discussing different topics. Right. Normally when people talk, they're talking to like a brick wall. Because one person's talking and the other person doesn't want to hear it, so they kind of argue back, and then it's just two heads butting. But luckily, skills that I've learned in EARD, I'm able to successfully talk with people and find common ground rather than argue or debate. So it's coming very, very handy.
Now, what made you want to go into communications?
I actually have a passion for film. I am going for media and communications. And a big part of film is communicating to an audience, telling a story, whether visually or through dialogue or audio. So that's mainly why I went into it.
Well, as we can see, EARD has definitely made a big impact on your life. Why did you decide to come back to visit?
Well, this school, I love this school for the time that I was here, and I love Lisa. Lisa was like one of my second moms. She was awesome. She was always there for me, and she just is an incredible teacher.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't know, I grew more as a person in her class than I think maybe in any other class that I've ever taken at this school. So
Wonderful. Hello, I'm here with
Siobhan Noyes.
Now, Siobhan, I heard that you have a piece in the art gallery. Could you explain a little bit on what that is about?
Yeah, so I am part of the mental health group in the HRA gallery, and my project is on mental disabilities and disorders and the stigma around those.
Right.
So currently I'm creating this giant box with a silhouette on the outside, and that person represents someone who's stigmatized, someone who's viewed as different just because of their disability or disorder, kind of viewed differently, and what people perceive someone who's either like autistic or someone who has ADHD. However, on the inside, we have this giant brain, which is a representation of all the creativity and like amazing things we don't know about people who have disorders or disabilities. But yeah, it's to open people's minds and draw away from stigma.
Good. Could you explain what stigma is to those viewers that would not understand?
Yeah, so stigma is an inclination to be to fear something or kind of be against it, not really knowing much on the subject. So, for example, depression is stigmatized in our country because people who have depression are perceived as very low, very down, where they do have good points in their life, and there are different qualities of that person rather than just the depression. So, yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Enjoyed taking a look inside Lisa Brown's Honors Exploring and Respecting Differences course. Lisa's a great teacher at Nauset. As you can tell, the students love her curriculum and love this course. If you're interested in taking this course, talk to your guidance counselor, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of Inside the Classroom.